everyone, this is Sakura the Diesel here, and welcome to the final session of The Legend of Zelda, part of our Zelda-thon and such. As always, like I said, I'm Sakura the Diesel, and I'm here with my co-host.
Bonnie of ZendaZLD+7. Hey folks, welcome back to another stream of Zelda, and welcome to our first ever live stream on Discord since, I don't know, 2021?
Yes, pretty much, if you can hear, we're starting to realize, why does Bonnie sound a little different and everything, and, pretty much, we decided that, for now on and everything, or at least, for now, pretty much, we're gonna move our streaming sessions over from, Google Meets to pretty much, Discord and such. And pretty much, as always, let me know on, how me, Bonnie, and even, the game sounds and everything, hopefully we sound pretty much, clear to you guys and everything. But pretty much, last time that we left off, we pretty much got started with the, second quest and such, and, pretty much, we weren't able to, beat the second quest and everything, which was fine and such, I kinda had a feeling that, we weren't going to, pretty much make it through the second quest in, one sitting. So, pretty much, we only just have, 3 more dungeons left to go, and, pretty much after we get done with those said 3 dungeons, and, Bonnie and I will go ahead and give our, final impressions on, Legend of Zelda. And pretty much, let you know, do we think this game still holds up based on, everything that, we played up to this point and such, and, pretty much what we also know, what the future games are gonna have in store later on once we get to them.
Especially one in particular.
Yep. So, pretty much, alright, so the next dungeon we're gonna be doing is, Dungeon 7, and pretty much it's gonna be right in this bush right here. Now, because the flame of the candle does go off by at least 1 inch and everything, pretty much in order to get to the dungeon, you're gonna have to burn the bush from behind right here, and then pretty much just go around, and that's how you get to Dungeon 7.
Okay, I actually did not know. I actually didn't see that coming.
Yeah. Which pretty much that's one of the good things of having a overworld map by your side and everything when I first played the second quest. Because even I probably would not have guessed that this is where the 7th dungeon was at and everything. But here it is. Now pretty much I will say that the 7th dungeon is actually not all too bad and everything. There are some tough enemies here and there and such, but honestly it's really not a very difficult dungeon when compared to 5 and 6 and everything, and even Dungeon 8. Once we get to Dungeon 8, it's gonna be a pretty much a fairly easy dungeon as well, too. Alright, and now that we got the bow and arrow and everything, now we can kill the pole voice in 1 hit. But we also still gotta keep in mind about the dark nuts. And we got one pole voice just stuck. But he got now he got himself unstuck. Whoop. Okay,
remember, don't run into them. Just
yeah, I'm trying not to run into them too much, and I just saw another pool voice getting stuck, so we help it out.
There we go.
And okay, actually, there's really not too many. Alright, I'm gonna try not to defeat too many enemies if I can help it and everything. Pretty much it's been a while since I have done Dungeon 7 on my own, so sometimes I kind of forget, if there are any items that are worth getting or not really. I think if I remember correctly, there's not too many, items, or at least, there's nothing really in this, dungeon that's worth, getting, so, at the very least, I might as well, take a ferry and everything and just leave. Berries! Yep.
Is that the blue one, or...?
No, that's just the, regular bubble, so pretty much that's the, bubble where, if it touches you, we're pretty much, if it touches you, then, you don't have to, and pretty much, you can use the sword just for a little while.
Oh, okay, so, I thought it was the red ones because of the different colors.
No, it's just a regular one, so we're good. Okay, there we go. Now, for this one, I am gonna have to kill some enemies, because there's a block in here that I do need to push. Because within that block, we'll be getting the, dungeon item, actually.
Jesus Christ, we're moving.
Yeah, I know, there's a lot, I know, there's a lot of enemies thrown into this room. And pretty much, kind of makes it a little extra annoying with these bubbles and such.
They don't leave you the fuck alone either, though.
Yeah. There we go. Alright, now, push this one.
We haven't seen our good friends the Wizrobes in a while.
No, not yet. Pretty much, we have saw the, Wizrobes in the, last 2 dungeons and such.
Push me, push me, push me.
Right. Now, I am going to want to kill the match for later, because I am going to have to take this stairs again. Okay. I'm going to want to get my ball out. And there's the key I do want to get, so... Might as well grab it.
There we go. Now for today's dungeon item, and much like in the first quest, we get the red candle. Nice.
Yep. So pretty much just like last time and everything, now with the red candle, now we can use the fire as many times as we want in one screen. We don't have to worry about like going back and forth screens just to use it again. So got that out of the way. Now we can go ahead and continue on. And honestly, like I said when I first did a playthrough on the second quest and everything, this dungeon for the most part is very lenient. You'll kind of see what I mean once we get the dungeon map. So okay, so
this is not, this is not all this guy.
Yeah, we do have to kill him unfortunately. So let's. Ah, got it. One hit. All right, one hit. Nice.
Nice. This guy usually takes me like.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, I will admit, like, you know, you can't take, like, you know, it can't take a while for, like, you to get rid of Manhandle. That's usually because that, like, as Barney said and everything as well, too, and as I said as well, pretty much, like, you have to make sure that you try to place the bomb in a very, like, you know, in a very, like, you know, good place and everything. Pretty much if you can, like, place your bombs in, like, you know, a very good spot and everything, and usually you could get them in, like, one hit. And yeah, here's the map. So pretty much see what I mean about this dungeon being a little bit lenient?
Yep, I do see it now.
Yeah. It's like, pretty much like, there's only like a few places to where, like, you are gonna need some stairs to get around. But for the most part and everything, like, it's not really all too hard to, like, get yourself lost in this dungeon. And that's kind of the same thing with the next dungeon as well, too, coming up soon.
Oh, jeez, and now they're throwing shit at you as well.
Yeah, I know. That's what kind of makes this part, like, slightly difficult, but it's not really all too bad. Honestly, like I said, like, you know, I've gotten so used to the Dark Nuts and everything that, like, I really don't mind them, like, anymore at this point. There we go. I'll take that, too. And yeah, like I said, they're being a little generous with the Hearts of Fairies as well.
Extremely generous. I'll take that. I'll take that.
I don't remember if there was a key. Yeah, I don't remember if there was a key in here, so I'm gonna try to kill them just in case. And hey, like, you know, just in case there is no key, then, like, I could always, like, refill on hearts.
Well, fair point, actually.
Yep. I do know there, okay, so, alright, I need to use both of this. I do know there should be a compass coming up real soon as well. I gotta make sure to try to find it when I can. Yep.
This guy is also, may also be another, okay, there we go.
Yeah.
The first time.
Yeah, especially with the blue ones and everything, like I said, like, you know, pretty much the way, like, this Legend of Zelda game works as well is that, like, pretty much the orange ones are kind of like the weakest versions, while the blue ones are supposed to be the more stronger versions of the enemies. And there we go.
There we go, finally.
Yep.
We're getting close.
Oh yeah, that's right, we already got the compass, that's right, duh. there's no key here. Let me see if I can at least try to get some parts if I can. Whoop. And yeah. Because like I said, too many
there's some
enemies.
slowdown.
Yeah, like
Yep.
yeah, like I said, because like too many enemies on screen and such. And like I said, it's not a glitch in like the emulation and everything. Like this literally also happens on like an actual like NES hardware as well too.
Man, I'm still shocked that that event. I'm not gonna mention the name of the band because we'll be giving away what band it is.
Yeah.
But I'm still shocked that the ticket sold out in 16 minutes.
Mm-hmm. And okay. Alright, now this is one spot where pretty much you're gonna want to get your money ready. And there's two spots with these old men. One you don't have to. One is actually completely optional, but this one is mandatory.
Let me see. Leave your life or money.
But I just stab you, old man. Okay, I was gonna say. But yeah, alright, yeah, we're gonna have to give him the 50 rupees. And he still shoots the fireball, even though he's gone. Okay, now for this one, yeah, we are gonna have to kill the Dark Nuts, so...
Careful though, because of the... Okay, there we go.
Yeah, I wanna try to at least get... Okay. I wanna try to see if I can try to lure one of them away if I can. I'll grab some parts too.
Oh, that was second.
Oop. Where's this one?
There we go. Sorry about that.
Nah, it's okay.
Anyway.
Yep. So pretty much, yeah. Pretty much we are almost done and such, and I do have a blue potion, so just in case we need it for emergencies, well, we got it with us. And yeah, I don't think there's anything in there as well either, so go ahead and ignore it, but... Alright, another set of blue darkness that we do have to kill.
Ooh.
Yeah, like I said,
Major slowdown.
Yeah.
You know, I was recently watching this video I found called the kill screen from Donkey Kong.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah,
You know,
that's right, yeah, because, like, I haven't seen it myself, but from what I heard and everything, like, someone actually, like, completed the kill screen in Donkey Kong, actually.
Yes, apparently the reason why it's called the kill screen is because whenever you basically loop the game over and over again, there's less and less time that the clock gets. You know the bonus timer?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
and pretty much, like,
complete
yeah, the reason why, like, kill screens like those happen is because, like, pretty much, like, there's only, like, so much room for data, even in arcade games, to where, like, pretty much, like, they can store as much data and everything, and pretty much, like, once you beat that certain level to where, like, all that data's gone and everything, pretty much that, like, yeah, the kill screen happens such to where, like, generally, like, it's supposed to make the game unplayable at this point.
Pretty much, yeah. Oh, shit.
And, alright, we did it.
Boy.
Alright, let's go ahead and get that Triforce, and pretty much we only got 2 more dungeons left to go.
Yeah, totally. Ooh, boy, that was close.
It was. Alright, now for this one, alright, now before we make it to this next dungeon, we are gonna need, like, one certain item real quick. And pretty much it's the same item that we needed for Dungeon 3, actually. So, while we do that, might as well, like, yeah. Might as well go ahead and see if I can get some money while I'm at it. If not, then it's like, if not, then it's not really big of a deal, cause, like, pretty much, like, my dude, pretty much, like, we have enough money to pretty much, like, pretty much get at least, like, 2 things we can actually get, like, not only, like, before Dungeon 8, but even at Dungeon 8 as well, too. Wrong side.
I'm very, very interested to see what Dungeon 9 has to offer in this one.
Pretty much. I think you might be a little bit surprised on, like, how Dungeon 9 is when compared to, like, the first quest of, Dungeon 9. Yeah, I don't want to
Sorry, we're late, Link. We had a bit of a problem with never mind. You were right.
Pretty much we had a problem with Ganon. You know how he is when he's grumpy.
Oh man, that joke still doesn't get old.
Yeah. Pretty much like, yeah, in order, the way to get a Dungeon 8 and everything, like, it's actually a little bit interesting. Pretty much like, in order to get to Dungeon 8, you actually need a stepladder for this. And pretty much it's hidden in a place to where, like, you wouldn't think, like, you know, would be hidden, but actually, if you remember that, pretty much if you remember the little hint that the old man gave at the sixth dungeon and everything, like, it'll start to make a little bit more sense on, like, you know, where Dungeon 8 is actually supposed to be located. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna need to...
Sorry, Link. He went away.
Yeah, he went away. Alright, so...
this is really expensive.
Well, I mean, the Blue Arena is expensive, but we already got that, so this time we need this again. So yeah, pretty much in the second quest, you're gonna need to pay twice, actually. Oh, hello there, Link. How are you? Nah, what a prick.
Okay, that makes the levers a little bit more. Hey there, Link. Hey, what's up?
Hey there, Link. What's up? Nah, come on, man. Come on, man.
Okay, that makes the levers a little bit more interesting.
Yeah. Alrighty, and pretty much like I said, we are running low on health. Just keep going up these stairs. Just keep going up these stairs 4 times. 3, and then 4, and then there's your fairy fountain. Again, it's only in the second quest because in the first quest is where Dungeon 5 used to be.
That is true. Fairy.
Alright. Yeah, let's see if they might drop some rubies for me. If not, then I'm not gonna worry too much about it. Now this is another dungeon to where, like, you're gonna want to try to save your bombs as best you can.
Ooh.
I'll take that. Yep. I'll take that. Alright. Alright, now for this one, this is where you're gonna want to use the step ladder for. And in the hint the old man gives you and everything, pretty much he says that, like, south of Arrow Mark hides a secret. And pretty much what he's really talking about is that, like, yeah, above where this wall of rocks are and everything, this is basically where, like, we got the Master Sword and everything from the second quest. And pretty much to the south of the arrow mark, if you place a bomb, I think it's, like, right around here. Yep, this is Dungeon 8. And honestly, like, for the very final dungeon, aside these red bubbles, this dungeon's actually fairly easy, honestly. And pretty much it's kind of like how, like, it's kind of like how the 7th dungeon was in the first quest, like, nah.
No.
Okay, honestly, you know what, like, I'm not gonna get too upset on it, cause, I do know where I can actually get a blue bubble in it, and everything, so, yeah, I'm not really gonna worry too much about it.
At least they have the courtesy to put the blue ones there, so.
Yeah. And I do believe...
And hey, these guys.
And yeah,
we haven't seen them in a while.
This is the visible wall, so...
The dongos?
Yeah, the dongos.
Wow, that was...
Okay, here's the blue bubble.
There they are.
Yeah, there we are.
Oh
Good.
boy.
Yeah.
With those.
Alright, so, yep, wall masters, and pretty much, like, you are gonna have to kill them and everything, and pretty much this makes it a little bit more of a challenge, because, yeah, they have the red bubbles here and everything, so pretty much, like, I can't really use my same strategy in terms of, like, you know, using the boomerang all the time and everything, so, just warned a few times where pretty much I am gonna have to, like, you know, try to get up to them as close as possible while trying not to be too close. Oh boy. Okay, I didn't get hit. Yeah, because like I said, like, you want to try to make sure they don't grab you, because if they grab you, they pretty much send you all the way, you know, back to the entrance, which theoretically is not all that bad and such. It's just more of a annoyance is what it is. And I'm surprised that they're not getting hit there. So, alright, that's all the wall masters, so pretty much push this block. And actually in this dungeon, there's actually 2 dungeon items in here. Alrighty. Okay, actually, you know what, like, let me get the dungeon item first, and I'll get hit by a blue bubble on the way out. So the first dungeon item is the magical rod, and pretty much we already got the magic book, aka the Bible. So pretty much like yeah, automatically every time we use the magic wand now, it's good. Yeah, every time we use the magic wand now, it's gonna shoot fire.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. Alright, let me go ahead and get hit by a blue bubble. Alright, let's run as fast as we can.
Alright, let's go.
Okay. And we are... Yeah, we are going to want to go over here, too. And, okay. Let's not go in here just yet, but at the same time, let me kill the enemies. So, pretty much, like, yeah, like, this room is only full of, like, both, like, moblins, like, keys, and a few of the dongos as well, too. So, pretty much, like, it's, like I said, it's a very, like, easy dungeon, especially, like, you know, considering to be, like, the very last dungeon before you get to, like, you know, Dungeon 9 and everything. Just really the only, like, difficult / annoying part about it is just the red bubbles, that's it. Pretty much that's the only reason why, like, you know, this dungeon is a little bit tricky, but not all that bad. So if we go down right here, this is where we get the map. So we gotta kill some moblins. Or at least like Orions, I should say. These are Orions. Whoops.
Are we gonna have another one of the Grubble Grubbles?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much like, yeah, that's the reason why I needed the bait. And pretty much, yep, here's Dungeon 8. So pretty much like with Dungeon 7, it's another one where it's kind of a bit of a lenient dungeon.
Alright.
Ready? And I'm gonna try to get 100 rubies as best I can. If I get it, cool. If I don't get it, then oh well. I'm not really gonna worry too much about it. And yeah, here are the ropes again.
I love how they charge at you, but they can't because there's a block there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright, where's this Goraya?
Oh, don't worry, we'll be meeting him soon, and I don't think there's anything in here for me, so alright, let's see if I can at least try to get one more heart, and then I'm gonna try to leave.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Hey, we gotta do it up there. There he is.
Alright. I'm putting on my glasses. What does this say? It says...
Shut up!
Immediate responsibility, you can require a shot inventory anyway.
I didn't even get to say my lines. This Link is a jerk. Well, I'm not Link, I'm bored.
We're on board.
Yes, I'm
Get
bored.
used to my name.
I'm bored, so now let's abort this game. Ah! Anyway, here's your compass. And pretty much, yeah, the last Triforce is all the way up there at the very top. Well, not the very, very top, but like, pretty much you get what I mean. Okay, we do need this key. And actually, we don't have to worry about like keys too much, at least in terms of this dungeon. And pretty much you gotta find out why in a very short while. Hey, berries. Yeah, like I said, like, pretty much this place is very generous on, like, both fairies and hearts and everything, but at the same time, like, you know, it can be a little bit cruel with some of his monsters.
Extremely cool.
Yeah. Oh, hey there, Link, how's it going? Oh, I guess you're gonna have to fight me now this time, aren't you, little elf boy? Now, where do you think you're going?
I'm bored. I'm bored.
Oh, yeah, that's right, you're bored. My mistake. I mean, pretty much Links all look alike, right? That's how it works. Alrighty. Yep. Alright, so yeah, we are gonna have to kill the dongos here, so... 1, 2... Alright. Now, thankfully, I can only mess this up once, so pretty much if I miss, like, you know, the dongo's mouth or everything, then it's not gonna be the end of the world. Yep. And there we go. Yeah. Alright, I do know
I
there
love how
is...
I love how they stop and then all of a sudden they're like, "Ugh."
Yeah, pretty much, because, like, I pretty much like the thing that, like, Bort's just pretty much, like, shoving that bomb right into, like, the doggo's mouth so hard that pretty much, like, they're just trying not to, like, throw up or something, and, okay, yeah, I had a feeling that was gonna happen. That's okay, like I said, I do know there should be a blue bubble coming up, so... And it's right over here, actually. Let's see if I can try... Okay. I believe for this one, we're gonna want to go... Actually, no. We want to go this way. Because, yeah, this is where, like, the final dungeon item is at. And, yeah, like I said, pretty much, like, yeah, now these stealth foes can actually shoot their own short beam. So, pretty much you gotta be a little bit mindful on that. But here we are. Final dungeon item, and what is it? The magic key.
The magic key, the lion key, in other words.
Yep, the lion key, magic key, whatever you want to call it, but pretty much, now we can unlock any door that we want. We don't have to get keys anymore.
Thank goodness.
So pretty much it was the last dungeon item in the first quest, and it's still the last dungeon item in the second quest. Alright, so now that we got that out of the way, we can go ahead and pretty much finish up Dungeon 8.
Alright, moving on.
Right. We don't have to kill them if we don't want to, but yeah, they might. But actually, yeah, they dropped like some rubies and everything, and we're probably gonna need some in the end anyway. So.
Ooh, wow.
Whoop. Alright. I believe. Yeah, visible wall. Yeah, sometimes I do have. Sometimes like you do have to double check to make sure like which one is an invisible wall and which one like it's just a wall to where like you just need to bomb it and such.
Right.
Yep. Pretty much no threat.
A Gorias.
Ooh. Yeah, pretty much Goraya is somewhat threat, but not really. But I like pretty much like the only thing that makes them a threat is their boomerangs. That's about it.
And even then, they're not that bad.
Yeah, true.
But you know what is bad?
What?
Light legs.
Yeah. Alright, we'll get this bomb.
Even the Whisperals, as much as we like to shit on them, even the Whisperals aren't that cruel and make you lose an item.
I mean, yeah, that is true. Like, just the only annoying part about the Whisperals, especially the blue ones, like, once they see you and everything, they're very aggressive with their magic.
Extremely aggressive.
Yeah. That's
why. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that, like, for this one, I do know we need a bomb. This is where, like, the boss battle is, but before we do that, there is one more spot to where, like, you can get one more bomb upgrade and everything, and pretty much, like, we might as well go ahead and use it to our advantage. Now, like I said, like, it is very possible that you can beat this game without, having the, bomb upgrades and everything. But pretty much, like, if you want to play just a little bit safe and everything, then pretty much this is where, like, you can get your, second and final bomb upgrade in the second quest. So, alright, this is another one where we are gonna have to kill some wall masters. So I'm gonna try to keep a good eye on the, loop. I did not mean to do that, actually, and I think that's it. Yeah, that's all. Alright, so pretty much right in here.
I bet you like to have more bombs.
I sure would, thank you. And pretty much, yeah. So pretty much like in the first quest, the total amount of bombs you can carry in total is 16. I want to try to avoid.
Okay.
Okay, actually, you know what? Yeah, hit me, and then hopefully, okay, let's see if the blue one will come back. Okay. I think I still got my sword. Let me check. Yep. All right. Well, to be fair, like if I were to lose my sword, it's not all that bad because thankfully the boss we need to fight, all we need is just bombs.
Oh, I think I know who it is.
Yep.
Dodongo.
Three Dodongos again. And this time we have 12, so pretty much we have no excuse for, like, you know, fucking up this badly or something.
Fucking.
Yeah, fucking. Pretty much that's something that Link's definitely gonna be doing when he saves Zelda. Or pretty much I should say Bort. Or pretty much I should say Bort.
Oh, Bort. Yeah, Bort.
Yeah, Bort. Look. Okay, I got 4 left. Can't be too careless. So here you go. Alright, one more. Here you go. And there we go. Alright, we got everything that we need, so the only thing we just need to do now is go on ahead and pretty much defeat the Legend of Zelda and complete the second quest once and for all.